All right, looks like we are all set to go live, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my live stream today on this beautiful Monday. All right, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Get a couple more windows going here. Make sure I can see all your comments. There we go. Great, great, great. I can see them there. I can see them now here. And there. Welcome, everybody. I think I got all the platforms going, ready to go here. Thanks for joining me. Happy Monday, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about one of my hobbies, and that's editing video. While I'm a photographer at heart, I have been editing video since the days way before I worked for Adobe. Editing videotapes with Premiere, whatever the version was back then, in my basement. So I have always been a fan of video editing, and for those that do it for a living, I've always been a fan of all the amazing things and inspiration that you guys give. But today we're not going to be talking about Premiere Pro, so to speak. We're going to be talking about a tool for everyone else. It's called Premiere Rush. So Premiere Rush, hang on for a second. I see your comment, Bass, but why don't I see it over here? This is not good. I should be seeing your comments here. All right, let me close that window. Good, good, good. Okay. But anyway, we're going to be talking about a tool for the rest of us. It's called Premiere Rush. And if the name can tell you anything, it comes from the Premiere family, but it comes from the Premiere family without all the feature set, but more the complexity. That's a better word for it, the complexity of Premiere Pro. So just like we have Lightroom Classic for the professional photographers that have been using a professional workflow for years, we also have Lightroom CC for this kind of multi-platform workflow with your photography. Think of Premiere Rush the same way. We have Premiere Pro on the desktop, not going anywhere. Tool for professionals. People edit movies in it. People do all kinds of things in it. But then there's Premiere Rush across multiple platforms, including mobile, for everyone else. So the same kind of thing going on between the two different sets of products. So with that said, I'm going to be doing most of it, if not all of it, on mobile, because I think that's where Premiere Rush really comes into play. If I were going to edit a video, meaning I was going to just do it professionally, then I would do it on Premiere Pro on my desktop. But a lot of times I want to edit a video quickly, or edit a video maybe of just a few clips that I shot with my phone or shot with a device. And I don't want to wait till I get to a laptop or a desktop to do that. That's exactly where Premiere Rush fits in. So just to let you know a little bit about the setup here. Let me fire up. I've got an iPad going here. This is my iPad Pro. It does not need to be an iPad Pro, by the way. And as far as the platforms that we're currently available on, let's get that out of the way. Mac OS, Windows, iOS, today. Android coming soon. I saw the question on Facebook, when's Android coming? I would love to give you a date, but I can't. I don't even know the date, so I can't give it to you even if I wanted to. But I don't know the date, but it is coming. They are feverishly working on the Android version. All right, so with that said, let me switch over to my screen so you guys can see the iPad here. So I've got the iPad in my hand, and just to show you a little bit from the hands cam there I am. There's my finger, so I'll bounce back and forth and show you things that I'm physically doing when needed on the actual screen. But just know that the big screen you see is the iPad that I'm currently holding. All right, next up, let's talk about how to get your footage in. So if you were to want to bring in footage into your device, obviously you have a built-in camera in your device. So if you're using your phone or a tablet, usually the phone or tablet has a camera. You can record video, record or shoot stills, and those are accessible in Rush. But the one thing that I would be remiss if I didn't talk about, and let me fold down my my keyboard cover a little bit so I can expose the camera. You get started by hitting a plus sign down there at the bottom. So if I hit the plus sign, that will bring up a menu that lets me create a new project by adding that existing media that I already talked about earlier, the media you already shot, or take a photo or video right now in Rush. So if I bring up the photo video, that brings up the built-in camera, and I'm just pointing it at my computer screen. But the one thing I wanted to point out here is that normally it's on auto, which, you know, is not going to probably be any better than the phone or built-in phone or built-in camera in your phone or your iPad or your device. But you notice on the right-hand side, there's a toggle between auto and pro. If I switch to pro, just like the Lightroom camera, I can have pro features. In other words, I can choose my ISO, shutter, exposure meter, or just do auto. So I can either turn it off auto and be able to change my settings to what I want, or turn it on auto and let it do its thing. Same thing for exposure bias, just it's like exposure compensation in photography. The ability to hold on here. I'm getting a red light, which is never a good sign. I still see myself over there, but I don't see myself over there. Hang on. Let's just restart it just to make sure. Oh, see, it went back green the minute I said I was going to restart it. But let me restart it on one platform that I think is stuck. All right. And there we go. Okay, so hopefully the stream is still working for everyone that's watching. All right, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go to my albums here. And with the albums, I can scroll through. These are all the albums on my device. So these are images and videos that have been here for years. I'm going to go to my Iceland images or Iceland videos. And some of these were shot with my phone. Some of these were shot with a drone. Some of these are 4K. Some of these are 1080p. So mixed media, again, not a problem. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, sound is back on. Okay, sorry if I lost the sound over there as well. Like I said, it went red for a minute, then it went green, so you should be able to hear me now. All right, and if the sound is off, there's nothing I can do about it at this point. But anyway, moving on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a few clips that I know I want. And what's nice is you can also grab them in the order you want it. So I can say, give me that clip first. Give me this clip second. Give me that clip third. Give me that one fourth. Give me that one fifth. Give me that one sixth. So forth and so on. So I'm just telling it which clips I want. And I'm also kind of starting the editing process by telling it which ones I want in the order I want them in. So when it brings them in order. Question, do I import directly from my drone SD card? Absolutely. Or plug, worst case scenario, you can plug, some drones you can plug in via USB cable and bring it in that way. All right, so you'll see at the very bottom, or maybe you don't, that might be cut off on your screen, but there is a sync with Creative Cloud. So that checkbox is there. It's enabled by default. It's all the way in the lower left. You can't see it because the thing is cut off on your screen. But in the lower left-hand corner, that sync allows it to not only sync the project, but the media as well. So that way you can access whatever you're working on any device. So if I start on the iPad, I want to go to my phone, or start on my phone, I want to go to the iPad, or go to the iPad, go to my computer. Wherever I start, I can keep working no matter what. All right, so let's go ahead and hit create, which is a button in the bottom right you may not have seen. And what it's doing right now is it's preparing the media, which it looks like that screen is turned off for you. Let me turn it back on. There we go. And now the media has come in, and I am now ready to do my editing. And again, it brought them in the order that I asked for them. So when I did the 1, 2, 3, 4, which clips to bring in, it brought not only ones I tapped, but it brought them in that order as well. All right, so now if I just hit play, we're gonna not hear anything because these are drone clips, so they don't have any sound, but we'll start to see the video play. And then what I can do is I can immediately begin the editing process. But before we do that, on the left-hand side, let me give you a quick tour. The plus sign lets me bring in more content. Down below, I have my editing tools on the left-hand side. So the scissors, the duplicate, the trash, I think that's duplicate, trash can, and expanding the track, showing the multiple tracks if you have more than one. And I can't remember what that last bottom icon is for, but it looks like a selection icon. All right, on the right-hand side, we've got the cloud icon, or the little comment icon in the upper right-hand corner. That's for giving Adobe feedback on Rush. You got the undo next to that. You got the preview next to that I toggled on so you can see what I'm doing. And then next to that, you see the little blue circle, and that's the syncing that's going on in the background. So that's syncing my content up to the cloud so that if I want to finish this or work on this somewhere else, I can. Then below that, titles, transitions, I forgot what the little nuclear thing was. Let's see. Oh, that's presets, and audio and cropping or transitioning. And then you've got all your play controls below the clip, as well as being able to change your timeline or your video from portrait to landscape or vice versa. All right, so that's just a quick view. You can also expand. I'm just pinching and zooming. So let me show you, let me bring up this camera. So I'm pinching and zooming below the timeline to expand it out. So if you want to be able to see more of a clip or less of a clip, you can do that. Now, I had to break a habit. I keep wanting to slide the timeline back and forth on the actual clip, but when you do that, you're actually telling it to move the clip, and I don't want to do that. So instead, what I really want to do is just drag below it, so that way I can see this nice smooth video playback, and it'll jump between clip to clip, and I can just scrub all the way through or scrub all the way back. It's just the drone going up, and really, editing is really about consolidating, making things faster, quicker, easier for the viewer. So I look for opportunities to cut out things that really won't make a difference, meaning they'll make a difference that it's shorter, but it won't make a difference that the person doesn't see it. So do you really need to see those rocks up to this point? Probably not. You knew there were rocks. Well, I can cut that out. So I can grab the scissors or tap the scissors. It makes the cut. Press and hold down and delete that first part. And of course it ripples the edit all the way through. So it will bring the clips over if it needs to. So now we're starting here. And when we get to this point, this is where I would love to have my title come in. So again, it's about that quick, fast, thinking on the spot. What do I want to happen next? I want a title to happen next. So I tap on the titles and it brings up the built-in titles that you have here to work with. Some of these are motion graphic templates, meaning they're animated. Some of these are just static titles. All of them, of course, you can edit and change the look, feel, font, color, and of course what it says. However, there's a style or title that I wanted that I didn't already have. So you'll see to the right of your styles, it says Adobe Stock. If I tap on Adobe Stock, these are stock templates. So these are ones that are always being added to and refreshed. And there was one here called Style, which I did grab earlier. And I can just double tap and it will pull down that particular style tab and put it right at my playhead. Which again, that ease of use. I could drag it over and try and put it exactly where I want, but just a double tap puts it right there. All right, will Premiere make app for iPhone? This is it. This is Premiere Rush, which is available on your iPhone. So yes, this is the app for your iPhone. All right, so now once I scrub past that, I can actually see the title, meaning it started out with nothing, then we jump over and see it. And of course, now I want to change what it says, so I just double tap where the type is, and then I can either keep it in all caps or not. So let's see, we're doing Iceland. And I think I like it in all caps. So let's put the caps lock down. Let's put the caps lock down. There we go. There we go. And I like the style of this title, and that's my title. And then I can put the keyboard away, and then I can preview what that's going to look like. So I hit play. And I could probably even cut some more of that out. We don't really need to see that much. As a matter of fact, I would love it if the title came in a little sooner. So I just pick up the title and move it over. Just like that. So whatever you want to do, just do it. Hit play. Now the title comes in sooner. Gives me that nice rectangle around it. Love that graphic. And then fades away, goes away. All right. So then, of course, I kind of don't need the rest of that afterwards. So I can make another cut. And now I'm cutting something out between two clips. So I hold it down. I get do you want to delete this, duplicate it, or expand the audio? I want to delete it. No problem. It just sucks the rest right back in, or brings the rest of the timeline over, or does a ripple delete, so to speak. And there we go. So now I want to just go past this. And again, it's just cutting out that unnecessary stuff. Don't need to see that. Don't need to see that. I kind of want to see the starting point maybe be right there. So again, we cut that, get rid of all that stuff up front, delete, and then we can now keep going around. And I don't really need to go all the way around, even though I flew it all the way around. We can probably stop right there. And again, make the cut first, cut, and then delete. So a lot of it is just literally doing these kinds of things. Positioning where you want. Did you guys lose audio again? Let me know if you can still, make sure you can still hear me. But it's more about just making the cuts where you want them to be, adding things that you want as you go. So I'm going to actually get out of that. And next thing we're going to do is now let's talk about bringing in some audio. So I hope you guys can hear audio because I'm about to bring in some audio. Anissa says, try refreshing, and you can hear me. Great. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to go back to the beginning because it will do it wherever you are. So I don't want to bring the audio in the middle of the clip. I want to bring it in the beginning. So what I want to do now is get some audio. This is what's cool about this, and this is what I love about Rush, is because maybe as a photographer, I'm shooting a behind the scenes. And I've captured all my clips and I start putting them together. But maybe I actually want to, once they're put together, I actually want to voice over what you're seeing. So I can go ahead and hit the plus sign for media, and there's a voiceover icon right there. What's cool, it'll use whatever microphone you have, or in this case, the built-in one. I'm not going to do it because of the way we're set up here, but I can do a voiceover and actually record my voice while the video is playing, and then it adds that as an audio track. And of course, if you don't like it, delete, re-record, get it just the way you want. All right, next up. Are you really doing this on the iPad? Yes, I'm really doing this on the iPad. See, here's my finger right there. You should be able to see. Yeah, there it is. Finger on the iPad. All right, next up. Audio. So I'm going to bring in some media that already has audio in it. I'm going to bring in some music. And I got my music royalty free from YouTube. So I can use this without any rights issues. So let's go ahead and go to audio. And now it's using the audio from my device, or I can use some Rush soundtracks, but I want to use the ones from my device. So I'm going to go to playlist. Same thing. These are all my iTunes playlist. Let's scroll all the way down to my YouTube royalty free. And I've got one here called Grass. So I can play it, but I know that's the one I want. So let's just go ahead and add it, and it will prepare it and then add that right below. All right, so now this is the time where I'm going to put in my earplug so I can hear what you're hearing. There we go. And now if I hit play, you should be able to hear the music as well. There it is. Now, on this next beat, right there, I always hit the wrong thing, huh? Right there, I want to go back to that. I want to go right back to that spot. Because now what I want to kind of start doing is creating a mood. I want to create cuts where the beat's changing. And although I don't have beat markers like I would in Premiere Pro, I do have the ability to just listen. So, somebody's asking, what software is this? This is Adobe Premiere Rush. All right, so now I want to make a cut right there because that's where the beat changes. So I want to change to on that next clip. All right, so just delete that. And so now if we go back and play it again. Right there, that's where I want to make the next one. So right about there, let's make sure I'm hitting the right spot. Yep. All right, so we'll make another cut. Get rid of this one. And you get the idea. So now we'll just keep going. Let's try it again. Right there's the next cut. And I think this is going to keep playing until, I just want to see what the next clip is. Okay, that's the next clip. So I'm going to cut this all the way to here. All right, let's drop the middle out. Delete. And now let's play that. And it's just kind of rinse and repeat. All right, so I would just keep doing that. I would just keep going. I'm not going to go through the whole video doing the same thing over and over, but I would then just keep doing it at this point. Question I see is, can I import custom titles you made in After Effects instead of the present titles? I believe the answer to that is yes. Don't quote me. It might be Premiere motion graphics as opposed to After Effects motion graphics. I can't remember which, but I think the answer is yes, you can import your own for the motion graphics templates. All right, so now let's say we get to a spot where we already know how to make cuts. And so there's this bird flying around my drone, which was kind of cool. Like right there. We get to that point and I want to cut it right after it goes by. So we know how to make cuts. We know how to get rid of the clips we don't need. You might have assumed, and you would have been right, that you can pick up a clip and move it over. And that will just rearrange it in a timeline and fix everything else afterwards. One of the other things that I haven't talked about yet is you also have the ability to apply looks. So these are the built-in presets that are here. So these are some that are kind of cool. You got cinematic, you got some, you got mono, you got matrix, you got gold. Maybe I want something like, let's see what cinematic does. And so when I tap on that one, we can see what it does. When I tap on film, I can see what it does. I can tap on mono, see what it does. You get an instant preview of what that's going to do, and it's by the clip. However, if none of those, turn you on, you can go to edit, and you have basically what looks like camera raw. If you're a photographer, this looks just like the ability to change your vibrance, your saturation, your exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows. And whatever you do here, let's say I want the clip to be more vibrant. I want it to have more saturation. I want to drop the exposure down just a little bit. Oh, was it moving it? There we go. I want to increase the contrast a hair. I can grab that. There we go. That's not a hair. There we go. That's a hair. And when you're done, you have the ability to save this preset so that you can use it over and over again. So you have advanced as well. And you can, at any point, create a preset from what you just did and name it. I'll just call it landscape. So that way you can apply the same look to multiple clips, even if you made it yourself. All right, next up, besides looks, you have the ability to apply transitions. So let me go out here. We have, I kind of want that one to be at the end. maybe. Ooh, I kind of like that one. Ooh, I like that one. All right, let's pinch down a little bit. Let's move this one in front of that one. I want my video to end this way. And before it goes from this one to this one, I actually want to transition. So yes, you do have built-in transitions. So if I want to cross dissolve on that entire clip, I just tap cross dissolve. If I want it between two clips, then I just drag it until I get the between indicator and then let go. And then that transition will now be between those two clips. So it should fade that. It did, and then it moves on to the next one. Okay. What else? So I can put a title in at the end. Let's do that. Let's go back to the built-in ones. There we go. And we'll call this one, thank you. All right, so now let's say you were done and we would actually want to end it there. I want to fade that. I don't know if you use a cross dissolve to fade audio. Let's see. Maybe. Let's hear what that sounds like. Nope, I did do what I wanted. So let's go to the audio options. There we go. And I may be missing it here, but there should be like a fade for this as well. All right. Change type music. Auto duck, which is kind of cool, but that's not what I want. All right, I'm missing the fade option. I'm sure it's here. I just missed it. But anyway, let's say you're done with your video. Now what are your options? Well, if I go back home, that untitled video is the one we just worked on, and we can go ahead and rename this. I'm going to take my earplug out. We can rename this Rush Live. Let's name it that. All right, so Rush Live has been created. Rush Live is synced to the cloud. It's been syncing to the cloud along the way. It's been doing its thing. And I can always go back to it and edit it on this device. I can pick it up and edit it from any other device. If we go back to it, you'll notice that you have the ability to, let's preview it again. You have the ability to, one second here, share, there we go. You have the share tab. Once we're done, we have the ability to share this with whatever settings you choose. So quality settings can either be automatic or you can specify the settings. You also have the ability to export it out to your device, as well as share it to any one of the social media accounts down below. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Behance. All right. The big thing that's going on though is that this is also cloud-based. So that means that when it's done syncing, I'd have access to it in two other places. A, on my other devices, like I said, an iPhone or a computer. Or B, on the computer, I have the ability to not only edit it in Rush on the desktop, but I also have the ability to edit it in Premiere Pro on the desktop. So let me show you how that would work. All right, let me switch over here. Let's see, before I switch over, I just want to make sure this is here. One second. All right, hasn't finished syncing yet, but I'm just going to show it to you anyway. So let's switch to the desktop. All right, in Premiere Rush, once it syncs, your project would be here. So here's the one I did earlier called Backup. Here's the one I was playing with called Demo. Here are some other ones I've done on my phone, and all the ones that have the cloud icon, meaning they're in the cloud, they're not local on this machine unless I click on them to edit. But once it syncs, that project will pop in here as well. And then if you want to continue editing in Rush on your desktop, you can. Or you can go in and go to Premiere Pro and open a Premiere Rush project directly in Premiere Pro to edit it there. All right, so I put this back up on here on purpose just in case the sync didn't finish on time. I just want to show you have access to the same things right here in Premiere Rush on the desktop. So same kind of title, although I didn't make it caps on that one. I added my own, this was a clip from Dropbox. It's my standard opening that I put in a lot of my tech videos. And the same editing tools, everything's in the same position, same icons, same options. Everything you've done on mobile, you have the access to do it here. All right. So let me answer some questions. I was kind of heads down editing. I saw some questions pop in that I want to get to before we close. And while we're waiting for that to sync, hopefully that will come over in the meantime. Let's see. I just want to see what's going on here. All right, it says it's doing its thing. Let's check it out. All right, questions. So, question was the software, Premiere Rush. Chris Thornton's asking, when's it coming out on Android? It's coming out on Android at some point. Can you fade in and out? Yes, you can use the transitions to fade in and out. Will the video file can share directly to YouTube? Yes, I showed that icon. That was probably asked before I showed that. Let's see. If time allows, can you show an example of creating a movie out of stills? Time won't allow today because we're done. But yes, you could create a movie out of stills and do it that way. Chris saying this is a game changer for quick edits to show wedding ceremonies during reception dinners. Chris, go for it. How can you transfer YouTube license free music background songs? So go to your creator account on YouTube. There will be a place to get audio or music. It lets you download the music as MP3s, and then you can do whatever you want with it from that standpoint, meaning moving it to whatever device. I put them in my iTunes account so they would show up here. Yep, that's exactly what I just did. I just said. So Chloe and the person before you, oh, nope, sorry, that was someone else asking a different question. How much is this program and will it work on my MacBook Pro? The program by itself, if you just wanted to get an account for Rush, would be $9.99 a month. But it's part of your Creative Cloud membership if you have other memberships. So I would probably go with something that included it versus just getting a Rush membership. But if you want a Rush membership, you can. All right, let me go over here where I got some more questions. I've used transitions to fade audio, so yes, I just didn't drag it into the right spot. So I thought that was it. I just didn't do it. Do I teach in-person classes in Atlanta? Not at this time, although you can always stay tuned to terrywhite.com to see when I am doing things locally. Can you design and edit great stuff with stabilizer? I don't know what that means. What do you mean? What is stabilizer? Yep, everyone's telling, drop the transition on the audio track. I got it. I just didn't do it. All right. Can you adjust the speed of the fade? Yes, you can. So let me go back to that. I didn't show that. All right, let me go back. Show this. All right, let me go to, bring this back over. And I pinch that out. I'll switch so you can see it in a minute. Just want to get to that spot. There we go. All right, let's switch over so you can see it. All right, I was remiss, I didn't show. So I have that transition selected between the two clips. So the question was, can I control that? And yes, you can. If you go back to your transitions and go to edit, you have the ability to use the slider to drag the duration. So I can say make that longer, and as you see, the transition just got bigger because I told the transition to take much longer. I wouldn't do 2 seconds and almost 3 seconds though. Let's make it not so long, but here we go. Hit play, and the transition took whatever 2 seconds I told it to do. So yes, you can absolutely do that. And everyone's yelling at me saying, hey, just drag the transition down onto the audio track. So let's do that. Presets, cross dissolve. There we go. Yep. Drag it slightly to the right of the thing you're trying to drag it to, and now it's there. So I'm going to actually do the same thing. I'm going to edit it and make it longer. And now when I hit play towards that, you should, and here we can drag that out as well. So I'm just making that thank you take longer to stay on screen just by dragging it out. And now we'll hit play. You should hear it. I'm not hearing it because I don't have my earphones in. But now it should fade that out. All right, so that was the audio thing. I thought it was a transition. I just wasn't dragging it in the right spot. All right, so with that said, I think I got all the questions, at least all the ones I saw. Oh, there's new ones. All the questions that I saw. Did you say it can be done on the iPhone? Absolutely, it can be done on the iPhone. I did some of the ones you saw that were already in my projects that were done only on the iPhone. Shaky video, stabilizer, yep, okay. That's built into the device, actually. It's already in the App Store to download, absolutely. And I think that's it. I think I got everybody's questions. At least, oh, there are more. Streaming for the iPad. Will Adobe have a program for live streaming on the iPad? Maybe. Could you please answer my question? Thank you very much. Very interested. Impaired. Very interested. I'm visually impaired. I have an iPad. I have an iPhone. And I have 100 gigs of storage, and I'm not able to upload 4K. Well, that could be the size of the clip you're uploading versus how much storage you have. So you only have 100 megabytes. If you upload a 4K clip that's much bigger than that, then you won't be able to upload it. So in that case, it might be time to get some more storage. And also keep in mind that you don't have to sync to the cloud, number one. Number two, your clips can come from other sources like Dropbox. So if you don't have enough room on the device, don't have enough room in Adobe's cloud, you can use other clouds or use the storage on the device. What software am I using for the stream? That's called Wirecast Pro. All right. Can you do the Ken Burns effect in Rush? No, it is not a built-in thing. You can always do things manually, but no, it's not built in. And when I say manually, you have the ability, Ken Burns is like sliding and transitioning photos from one to the other. Yes, that can be done, but it would be a manual process. There's no one click, make it Ken Burns to do that. So easy. Absolutely, it's very easy. That's why I'm liking Rush, especially for editing on the go. All right. I got to cut it off at some point. So these are all great questions. Stay tuned for more. Since you guys are really liking Rush, it was like a call. I wasn't sure if people were going to tune in for this or not. But since you're liking Rush, we'll do more with it. That was just kind of a get your feet wet, get you started with it. Maybe I'll make an official video for my YouTube, so that way that video will be there as well. All right. Thank you. And by the way, there is an icon in the upper right corner of Rush to give direct feedback on what you would like to be better. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.